name is Dixon Waitweka. I'm the general manager of this company for the last 3.5 years. Before then, I acted as the head of finance and administration of the company since inception in August 2009. And going with our vision of equipping our farmers and ensuring that we give affordable credit services, we started it very well, and we were able to register almost 30,000 tea farmers in the initial 2 years of our organization. And as I said, our initial loan portfolio was 200 million, which has actually have grown to almost 12 billion as at now. We have done so much impactful thing to our tea farmers, who you all know as small-scale tea farmers. Majority of them delivering less than half 1,000 kilos to the tea factories, by enabling them to pay school fees for their children, cover some of the costs which they may come their way, like the medical expenses, and some of them diversifying the revenue stream so that they can be able to get an extra coin to their pocket. So that gap which was there in the initial years, the tea farmers not getting the financial services from the bank because of their nature of their revenue income, we're able to fill that gap by enabling each and every farmer to be a customer or a member of this company. And our own size currently, we are able to give a minimum of Kenya shilling 500 shillings up to a maximum of 6 million. And you can actually see somebody borrowing 500 Kenya shillings cannot be able to borrow the same amount in any financial institution. So that is a gap which was filled by enabling that small-scale tea farmers to get financial services for their day-to-day operations in their farms. As a company, we wish to become the most trusted financial partner for rural Kenya, expanding regionally, diversifying our own product portfolio, and also integrating smart technology that make financial services seamless and accessible. Currently, we are serving over 350,000 customers who have been registered to a mobile banking platform which we call Pesa Ulipo. Pesa Ulipo means money wherever they are. They can actually borrow in the comfort of their homes when they are even plucking teas. So able to register all these farmers to our platform. And on the impactful what we have done to our tea farmers, in 2015, we were able to install over 15,000 solar installation to our tea farmers, which enable them save so much on electricity cost. In another areas, there was even no installation of the Kenya Power, so they're able to have good lighting to them. Another impactful thing is we're able to supply a number of tea farmers with super jikos, which enable them save on firewood usage, which is conserving on our environment. We are calling it Jikokoa, which we partnered with the KTDA Foundation, which is another subsidiary of KTDA Holdings, to reach and supply these jikos to our tea farmers. Currently, we are doing biodigester installation. We are partnered with System Bio. It's another impactful thing which the farmers can actually utilize and will be able to save on energy usage, because they can use it on as a cooking for their cooking. And again, there's another thing which has come. It can also be used for lightening their compounds. And so far, we're able now to grow more vegetables, which they can also save and retain a coin in their pocket. You know, you cannot go to borrow to a financial institution without having a security or collateral to secure loans, because most of the institutions, they look at the risk they may undergo by the farmer not paying what they have borrowed. And you can actually tell most of the tea farmers may lack this security which is required by the financial institution for them to acquire in financial services in their institutions. So what I've done as Greenland Fedha Limited is to try to remove that barrier. Currently, we are not demanding any tea farmer to borrow from us to have a collateral for them to acquire a loan from us. And number two, we are giving them a flexible loan repayment, which they can able to pay depending on their productivity. We don't actually put an installment for the tea farmer to pay on a monthly basis. We base it on the kilos they deliver, so that we don't have the issues to do with defaults or the farmers struggling to repay their loan. So that flexible loan payment has actually made our product a bit friendly and attractive to our tea farmers. Number two is, as I said, we have digitalized our own disbursement, so that the farmers can also borrow on the comfort of their homes using their mobile phones. It doesn't matter whether it's a smartphone or any phone they can able to borrow from us. Just by putting our USSD code *346#, they can able to borrow from us. And number three, we have come up with another strategy where we have our mashinani agents. We are trying to create an opportunity for young men and women in the rural areas to have something to do. So we have actually like 100 agents who move around in the tea catchment areas, trying to register our tea farmers and also enable them to apply loans using the point of sale gadgets which we have given to every agent. So in all these, we're able to have been played an important role by promoting the financial services to our tea farmers across the country. So as a company, we have rolled out mobile banking platform. As I said, that is our key thing, which has kind of changed the way we have been doing business. Initially, in the initial years from 2009 to 2013, we actually using loan forms. For the farmers who are filling their loans using the loan forms, which in terms of how they were moving from the credit officer in the factory, they had to go again to the supervisor who were based in the regional offices, and then they were actually now coming out there to head office for processing. It was taking maybe 2 to 3 weeks for the loan to be disbursed to the tea farmers. So you can actually see our turnaround time. That time is actually an average of 14 to 20 days per loan disbursement. So, but with the digital platforms, which we have partnered with the credit service provider, which is Cotec Service Solutions, we are able now to disburse our loans within 24 hours. And some of the loans are actually doing it immediately, like the Fedha PAP, which we introduced in the month of April this year. And all the others, you can actually see now our turnaround time has able to be reduced from what I said 20 days in those initial years to 48 hours currently. When we have a good liquidity within our company, because another risk which we face is liquidity risk, we're able to disburse the loan within 24 hours or within 1 day. The farmer may borrow today, now in the morning, and by the evening they'll be having money in their phones. So and we have two platforms. One is Pesa Uripo, which they can borrow using their mobile phones, as I said, and the other one is Bio System, which is a point of sale gadgets, which each and every staff of Greenland Fedha has, and also all agents, the ground they have. That's something which we have done, and currently we have done a paper, an MTC paper, how we want to now to bring the AI, that is artificial intelligence based advisory, and I know this will turn the way we do things moving forward. So that is actually one of the key directions we are actually doing on our digital platforms. As a microfinance institution, one of the key risks which we face, and each and every institution faces, or which they try to mitigate more, is on credit risk, where farmers may borrow and not pay back what they have borrowed. Remember, one of the key things for an MFI is to ensure that each and every coin that goes out comes back. So credit risk is one of the key risks which we face, and being at the KTDA subsidiary and landing on KTDA infrastructure, I can actually tell as a company we have managed and mitigated this risk to below 4%. Currently the industry is reporting a portfolio at risk of 13 to 18%. But for GFL, we are able to manage the risk to 4%, because what we do, we use KTDA infrastructure to recover our loans. We have a checkoff through the KTDA Greenland section, where we submit our data for loan recovery, and they recover in our behalf, and they're able to get now our loans back. Another key risk is operational risk, which is more to do with the staff mitigated frauds, or maybe sometimes system failure, and maybe poor connectivity. But that is something able to manage by having the VPN, that is the virtual private network, which has enabled us now deal so much with the poor internet connection between the head office and the field services. Market risk is another risk which the company faces, mainly to do with the economic situation of the country, where maybe the dollar may go high. Remember, the GFL is financed more through debt, which we borrow from financial institutions, and for us to get a good interest charge from these institutions, we borrow more on USD dollars. So that actually where now, if the market dynamics change and the shillings now depreciates against the dollar, this is a big risk which we face. And for in 2023 and 2022, it actually affected our performance in a very big way when the shilling was depreciating against the dollar. But currently, I can say for the last 1 year, the government able to manage and to retain the risk at 129 Kenya shillings, which is good for our company because we're able to manage the risks. But since we are borrowed in dollars, is a risk which we manage and monitor, so that we can able to take good control measures when it arises. Then there's another one, the liquidity risk, where we don't have enough fund to finance our business operations, and this is actually one of the key risks which we face. Currently, there's quite a number of recoveries done by our KTDA Management Services, another sister company of the KTDA holding, which are not yet to be remitted to Greenland Fedha. So liquidity risk is there because the demand or the appetite of our loans is very high, but sometimes we don't have enough resources to fulfill this demand from our tea farmers. Reputation, able to manage it very well by having visibility throughout the company and ensuring that we don't do much have negative things which is happening within ourselves. So I can actually tell that is a risk which we have managed. And for regulatory and compliance, able to manage it by ensuring that we adhere with all the regulations put by the government and all the requirements put by our brother body, that is the Association of Microfinance Institutions. So that's something which we adhere, and also ensuring that we pay our tax obligation on time. Thank you for that question. One of the key things which we do as a company on the series and strategies and microfinance, and as a company, is ensuring that we know our customers. We get proper biodata of our customers and their history and their locations where they are. So know your customer process, and we do a careful loan assessment before we lend. So, and also most of our products which we give based on the historical productivity, we require each and every farmer to have 2 guarantors who are also tea farmers, and they have enough kilos as the person who is borrowing. Again, we give some kind of a grace period for our loans. A KTDA, the payment of the tea farmers is on 2 areas. There is a monthly Greenland payment, and then there is a second payment which is paid in the month of October, of which now the farmers are able to get a significant amount based on their factory performance. So what we do is to ensure that we structure and diversify our loans so that we can have that grace period. The farmers are able to not to pay or pay a small amount on a monthly basis and then pay a significant amount during the second payment. Another key thing is digital innovation, where, as I said, the mobile banking platform which we use has actually now done wonders with this company, because the farmers are able to get their own personal identification number, which we call PIN, and we actually in regular basis do an SMS, a bulk SMS to all of them, that they should keep this PIN secure, and it's only for them. They should not disclose it to any other person. So this personalized borrowing pattern has actually done wonders in managing and mitigating our risks. We have transparent financial reporting, which we do our accounts on a monthly basis, and then we're able to present them to our board of directors on a quarterly basis to show that they can see the progress the company is making in terms of performance of our accounts. And these again, we have the final accounts, which we also publish after being audited by the external auditors. Currently they are Grant to them, who are our external auditors, who do now the external auditing of our company. And again, we comply with the rules and regulations, as I said, which have been put by the government and regulatory bodies. Remember, we as a microfinance institution, we have need to comply with the requirements which have been placed by various bodies within the government, so that we can be seen to be doing best practices as they have been put by the industry. And lastly, we have ethical leadership and code of conduct, which are actually in our billboards and in our offices for the staff to adhere to. And all the key things which we do is that we, as an MFI, we need to operate with a high level of integrity as we serve our customers. As a company, we will be soon launching tailored products to our youth in the rural areas, where the tea catchment areas. And one of the key things I've found to be the best product is where we're able to enable them have a car washing machines, so that they can be able to start off businesses washing cars and maybe generating a certain revenue to themselves. And we're able to acquire them the machines, and then we enable them to have yards where they'll be doing their operations, and maybe finance them for the initial capital for this. And we're going to do it in maybe having the 5 youth joining together to start the business. And where they are not able to finance it, finance our product, we're able to tell them to bring their parents, who will be tea farmers, to co-guarantee them for those loan products. And again, we are going to look at other products which entice the youth. I know the youth, they like so much opening salons and barber shops in their tea catchment area. So some of you are going to finance the youth to start, and also the digital online products. If the youth are able to satisfy our company, that able to pay back the loan they take from us to start up these businesses, we'll be willing so much having them financed, so that they can have something which is going to keep them busy. On women, we are going to do more on the areas which they like most. We know there's this slogan about Mama Boga. We're able to look for them and finance them to start off these small kiosks and businesses. And we know that is something which they can be able to pay our own products even on a daily basis. These chamas, the women had in their areas are good areas which are going to focus more to enable the company grow its revenue streams, and also equip and empower the youth and the women in the rural areas to enable them have something they can put in their pocket. We are looking forward to coming up with very good products which they can be able to enable them, as I said, have more money, which they can be able to do bigger business or bigger diversification of the areas they want to utilize the funds they are going to borrow from us. So I can actually say thank you for the support they have given us and the engagement which they have enabled us to have to partner with them in all the areas. and actually tell them the future is excited, the future is good. Currently we are having an equity raising which is being done by reputable consultants, Standard Investment Bank, of which we want to bring on board all the tea factories as the shareholders of the Greenland Fedha Limited. Initially or currently we are only 100% owned by KTDA Holdings Limited, and KTDA is actually want to dilute their ownership by giving out 45% of the ownership to the tea factories, and the farmers-led tea circles. And again, we are looking at our subsidiaries to become the shareholders of the company. This equity raising, which we are earmarking to raise 19.5 billion, is going to do wonders for our company, because we are going to get more financing, which we can actually now pass over to our customers. So I can tell them the future looks good, and they should actually now continue doing business with us, and we assure them of a very good service we are going to lay down to them, so that they can also remain our loyal customers. One of the key things is empowering our tea farmers, or empowering our customers by having them come up with other areas they can generate revenue from apart from tea, and again by enabling them save a coin or two. As I said, we are doing solar installations as a project. We are also doing a biodigester installation to our tea farmers to enable them save a coin. So one of the key leaders I want to leave behind is to leave an empowered tea farmers who will see a change from what they were yesterday to what they are today. Another legacy I want to leave is to have an institutional integrity being put in place. That is ensuring that we do our business on in the ethical way possible, so that we can have trust for our tea farmers. Remember, if an institution doesn't have create trust to its customers, they move away to the competitors. So one of the key leaders I want to leave behind is to have an integrity led institutions which is built on trust. Another thing is innovation and financial inclusion, by, as I said, by having now the youth and the women being empowered to do business. You know, our youth currently, they're almost 70% of our population. So any institution which doesn't look into this big percentage in our populations will not be doing good to the country. So our innovation and financial inclusion will more focus on the youth and the women. And again, is sustainable growth and the human face, that is achieving financial sustainability. It will be so hard for us to remain as an income generating company if we don't do a sustainable growth, that is ensuring that our balance sheet growth. Any institution which doesn't grow its balance sheet is actually now leading now to being a non-profit making institution. So one of the key things we will do is to ensure sustainability of the institution by more compromising that is what we call social mission, and proving that we are a good share or revenue earner to the shareholders, because they will be demanding a return on their investments. And again, financial literacy and client growth. Majority of our tea farmers have noted that they are not able to plan well for the funds which we give to them. And this year in our budget, we are going to put a huge budget which we are going to partner with the KTDA Foundation on financial literacy to our tea farmers, so that they cannot be able to have a good utilization of the funds which we lend to them. And number two, we are going to ensure that our client grows. We are currently at 52% customer penetration within the KTDA potential market, which we are going to grow to almost 90% by the year 2030. So that's another key things which I want to do. And lastly is a culture of service and the social impact, as I said, to our farmers, a team culture rooted in serving, having a servant leadership, not that I'm here now to dictate things. Then we have good customer care to our tea farmers, and a long-term preservation, and then adjust transactions. And lastly, I want to leave the human resource within the Greenland Fedha well aligned, depending on their skills and competencies, and having a good structure which they will feel that they have been put where they belong, and they earn for whatever they have been hired to do. So I can actually say those is the legacy I want to leave behind as an institution as I move, and I think it will now be able now to keep the company going forward, even when us we leave it behind.